Yeah, well, no, it was interesting because when I first read the script, it's like, Jim is dead on page 1. I was like, well, I'm flattered, but Christ, my acting must be really wooden. And then luckily, you read through it, and he's the love of George Falconer's life, and the reason that George is contemplating, well, it's basically his last day on the planet. He's going to commit suicide at the end. But it was just a really lovely, really like the scenes actually, because they were, which would have been fine if they were sort of sweaty clinches on a beach, because those happen too. But I liked the sort of beauty and the banality of just his remembrances with them sitting on a sofa reading a book together, and they weren't particularly dramatic on the page, but when you see them in the film, they're kind of lovely.
Well, the film itself has so many absolutely gorgeous small moments. And
it's the most impressive debut. I mean, Tom obviously has worked with the aesthetic, for 20 years, and he wanted to be an actor and was an actor in his younger days. So he's an actor's director, even though it's his first film. And he's so prepared, but it's a devastating debut because it's just the score is beautiful.
Everything.
He's taking care of everything, and it looks gorgeous. And Colin gives a performance.
Oh my God.
Of his life in it so far, and it's great to see. He's become a chum, and it's so nice to see that he's now people seeing him in a different way.
He's broke through now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's not really broken through, but it's like he's just suddenly some people have seen him in a different light. It's like wow. And then you don't realise he's been since another country. He's been subtle, beautiful actor for a long time, and now almost he might even go down the route of being a bit of a character actor.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know. It was exciting for him. I know he's really bowled over by it.
And then we go into this lovely romantic comedy shot in Ireland.
Oh yes.
Leap Year.
Yeah. I've heard
and
that.
I understand you have a lot of changes of clothes in this one, right?
Oh yeah.
Clothes just keep getting dirtier and dirtier.
Yeah, the changes, just more mud gets kicked onto me I think, throughout it. But nice not to have to worry about costume changes.
Exactly.
That's always a bit of a rigmarole.
Tell me a little bit about your character in this. He's kind of a cynical.
Well, he had his heart shattered. What we learn towards as we get into the film by his ex-love, and who ran off with his best friend. Who they set up this pub together to be which is his dream, and to serve really good food, and that was sort of taken away from him, and they ran off to Dublin, which is why he doesn't have. He's not particularly fond of the place, and. But he's in desperate straits, really. He's about to have his kitchen taken away by a local money lender because he borrowed money off him to put the kitchen in the first place, and he hasn't been doing the repayments. So that's why, effectively, he takes this. They don't get on, my character and Amy's character at the beginning. She's this ever-controlling, micromanaging,
typical American,
snooty, American bitch. Yeah. Frankly. But she does offer to pay him, and eventually he's like, well, I need the money. So they go off, and they set off towards Dublin on this little adventure. And along the way, they argue some more, but they, various veneers of their personalities slip, and you get to see the real, but not necessarily prettier tooth underneath, I suppose. Yeah. And they kind of start questioning what they both want, I think. And she's meant to be going to marry somebody else, so there's that thing of like, I kind of starting to like her, but actually at the same time I can't. She's going to get married, it's like that.
Yeah. But in the end, everything works out.
Well, does it?
I don't
spoil it for anyone. It's a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
So, the fact that we're both on the poster, it says it all, really.
Right, exactly. We can kind of figure it out. You've got a new one coming out, right? A new film.
Yeah, I know I do. That's right. Sandwich Junction. With Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant. David directing. Ray Fiennes, he's all right, isn't he?
Yeah.
And the gorgeous Emily Watson.
I love her.
So, that comes out in April, I think, after these two do, and then I think the public can have a break from Ugly Mug until whenever the next one comes out, which will be if I work in the next year, then it'll be out the year after. So it takes a while for these things.
It does. It really does. You've got to kind of plan these things. It's hard to do.
You do.
Well, what's your goal? I mean, do you want to keep making American films, or just films that appeal to you?
I think you try and work on. I mean, you're lucky enough to bloody work. Really, I don't have the keys to Hollywood. I don't get to say what I'd like to do and don't like to do. And it's nice. Maybe. I mean, do you want that? I don't know if it's necessarily going to mean you're going to do better work. But it's always nice when someone, a first-time director, says, "I'd like you to do something," and then again, it's nice when established directors, ask you to come in for a role. Not necessarily giving it to you, but it's good to fight for them. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It's always nice to do something different.
And
and yet at the same time, I'd love to do a Richard Curtis, Four Weddingsy type thing.
Something fun.
If he writes a really great script, I'd be like, can I do it?
Yeah.
I haven't done the